I was a student when I made my first visit to London. It was the summer of 1997. I was poor and on a budget. I came just for the day on a National Express coach from Cambridge. I was a little uneasy because the driver spoke loudly in a Cockney accent, had a shaven head and tattoos that snaked up his arms from his wrist and disappeared into his short sleeve. Dark thoughts of what skinheads did to black people in Europe entered my mind.
Here you go, darling,
he said as he handed me my change. I was disarmed. London lived in my imagination long before I saw it. On that first visit, I wanted to see everything. From the top of several hop-on hop-off buses, I saw Pudding Lane and Westminster Abbey, the Old Bailey, the sparkling dirty Thames, and the many sights and places that I knew from books and television. By 4 in the afternoon, I was London glutted and sight-sore.
Coming up is Marble Arch,
said the tour guide. I immediately thought of Jeff Buckley's Hallelujah. My best friend David Odeville had introduced me to his music the month before, only for Buckley to drown a few weeks after I first heard him. I hop off the bus and walk into Hyde Park from the Marble Arch entrance. It was as good as a place as any to eat my sandwich lunch. As I walk into the park, I almost become part of a crowd of Hare Krishna followers. The small enthusiastic crowd was mainly middle-aged, the men in white linen trousers and tunics, the women looking incongruous in clothes from 2 continents separated by a vast ocean. They wore Sarah's accessories with colorful woven bags from Latin America. They thrust up their arms and danced their way through the park as everyone but the tourists ignored them. I walk away from the Hare Krishnas and found myself at Speaker's Corner. I listened to a bearded Christian evangelist preaching hell and brimstone in such soft tones that he did not appear to be particularly convinced of the impending doom he prophesied. There was also a member of the International Socialist Organization who talked as though the Berlin Wall was still to fall, and a group of students campaigning against a multinational that was forcing infant formula on women in developing countries, making me feel terribly guilty because all I could think of was one of the multinational's famed chocolate bars. I took that as a prompt to have my late lunch and walked to eat in the loveliness of the Rose Garden. After my meal, I turned right and found myself in Rotten Row. I felt immediately homesick for Zimbabwe. There are not many rotten rows in the world, and one of them is in Harare. I spent an hour wandering in happy days in Hyde Park. I had visited Hyde Park many times since then, and I've come to love other sites that I missed that day, particularly the moving Holocaust Memorial with its text from the Book of Lamentation. But the charm of the first visit had never left me.